winter of 1969, I was starting to work down at the headquarters on off school days, and we had 5608, which was the old open rescue boat that was before 5690, and it had seen better years. It was a tired deal, and so the year previous, they had put a new floor in the new deck in the boat, and all the maintenance work we did ourselves. So it was by building the towers, painting the towers, maintaining the rescue buoys by stripping them and painting and re-roping them. Everything was, nothing was subbed out, nothing. And so Steve Chorak, who was the permanent lieutenant, was very, very handy. As I mentioned in another segment, he built Tower Zero along with the city carpenter, and he designed and built the Spanish-style new lifeguard towers that were going on the main city beaches. And he had put the new deck in 5608, and the fuel tanks were down below that deck. And at the time, for whatever reason, they hadn't put a hatch into the lower deck space. There was bilge pumps and stuff in there, but and somehow the boat, probably from the constant pounding of the surf, had developed a fuel leak from one of the tanks. It was quite serious, and there was a lot of fuel in the tank, gasoline. And the deck that they had put in had been fiberglass, and then it had fine sand sprinkled everywhere, so you had grip when it was wet, and it was very professionally done. So it was decided that we're gonna obviously fix the fuel leak for the coming summer, and obviously do whatever other repairs were needed, including building a center console where the boat operator could stand up, and that would give him better visibility on either side of the vessel. And so it was decided that we had to get into that lower section of the boat. But how to do it with fuel in there, gasoline in there, and if you go to cut the deck, there's certainly sparks, and you're going to blow the boat up. So what he did is he took a 2-inch brace bit, which was a handheld device. It was used in the 1800s, 1900s, and he drilled a hole in there in one of the decks, and no sparks, no nothing, because he could control it. And then we took a hose from one of the Jeeps and ran that over and put it into the hole, and so the whole bottom of the boat was filled with exhaust from the Jeep, and in theory, so that it could be no combustion. So at that point in time, everybody retreats from the boat on the trailer and goes to their appropriate corners at different sections of the outside of the building, and we all looked around the building like this to watch him get out the skill saw and cut through the deck. And of course he starts to cut through the deck, and there's a rooster tail of sparks, and it's just like, you're going to kiss your butt goodbye here any minute, and for whatever reason it didn't blow up, but we were all watching, and there wasn't time to take a pool to see whether he was going to kill himself or not. But he fixed the boat, and then he built the console, and the boat went back into service. And if you ever, I don't know if you ever spent any time on the boat. I think I spent a total of 1 month, 1 2-week schedule, and then later another 2-week schedule on the boat. And the boat, that rescue boat, was really no fun to make rescues off of, because the position that the assistant rescue lifeguard on the boat would be at the stern of the boat on either the port or the starboard side, depending on which way the boat was approaching a riptide. And the operator would swing in at close to 35 or 40 miles an hour, and he would yell jump just as he cranked the hardest turn he could probably crank, and you would be launched off the stern corner of the rescue boat, and you might fly 25 or 30 feet. And the idea being that you're going to be placed closer to the people in the riptide, and the boat's going to be out of the way of the oncoming wave. And it was a thrill. It was like being shot from a cannon at the circus with no helmet. So I was very grateful when they got 5690 and they had the swim step on the back, and you could just hold on to the stern and drop off, and that was a much better situation to be in.